भट्टा झापा।
आवाज विश्वासको आवाज विश्वासको यो रेडियो साथी 98.6 मेगाहर्ज।
यो हो रेडियो साथी 98.6 मेगाहर्ज। आवाज विश्वासको।
बिहानको 10 बज्यो। यो समय घरमै बसेर सुनेर पढ्न मिल्ने कार्यक्रम रेडियो स्कुलको हो। नमस्कार हाम्रा प्रिय विद्यार्थी भाइ बहिनीहरू, तपाईहरू सबैजनालाई कार्यक्रम रेडियो स्कुलमा हामी हार्दिक स्वागत गर्दछौं। कार्यक्रम रेडियो स्कुल लकडाउनको बेला विद्यालय बन्द हुँदा शिक्षण सिकाइ क्रियाकलापबाट विद्यार्थी भाइ बहिनीहरू वञ्चित हुनु नपरोस् भनेर तयार पारिएको सिकाइ सहजीकरण कार्यक्रम हो। यो कार्यक्रम मेचीनगर नगरपालिकाको सहयोग एवं शिक्षक महासंघ प्याप्सन तथा एनप्याप्सन मेचीनगरको समन्वयमा उत्पादन गरिएको हो। भाइ बहिनीहरूलाई थाहै छ, हामी आइतबारदेखि शुक्रबारसम्म कक्षा 5 देखि 10 सम्मका भाइ बहिनीहरूका निमित्त रेडियो कक्षा प्रसारण गर्छौं। आज मंगलबार सबै तहहरूमा अंग्रेजी माध्यमको सामाजिक विषयको कक्षा सञ्चालन हुनेछ। 10 बजेदेखि 10:30 बजेसम्म कक्षा 5 र 6 का विद्यार्थी भाइ बहिनीहरूका लागि कक्षा सञ्चालन हुनेछ भने 10:30 बजेदेखि 11 बजेसम्म कक्षा 7 र 8 का विद्यार्थी भाइ बहिनीहरूका लागि कक्षा सञ्चालन हुँदा 11 बजेदेखि 11:30 बजेसम्म कक्षा 9 र 10 का विद्यार्थी भाइ बहिनीहरूका लागि कक्षा सञ्चालन हुनेछ। रेडियो साथी 98.6 मेगाहर्ज रेडियो साथीको फेसबुक टाइमलाइन तथा अनलाइन radiosathi.com लगइन गरेर पनि कार्यक्रम सुन्न सक्नुहुनेछ। अबको पालोमा कक्षा 5 र 6 का विद्यार्थी भाइ बहिनीहरूका लागि विषय विज्ञ शिक्षकज्यूहरूबाट कक्षा सञ्चालन हुँदैछ। त्यसैले कापी कलम लिएर रेडियो सुन्दै टिपोट गर्दै पढौं है त।
Namaste, welcome to everybody in the program A Classroom Beyond the School. Today I am going to teach you social studies for standard 5 and 6. Dear students, today I am covering the syllabus for class 6 and 7. So I want you to take your copy and a pen to note down the points which are important in this class. Okay students, I believe that you already ready with the pen and a copy, and if you have a book you can revise later on by reading the book. Anyway, dear students, today is the first class for class 5 and 6 in social studies. So I am going to start syllabus wise, that means the first class unit 1, and we have a bit difference in class 5 and 6 syllabus. So I am going to teach you first of all the class 5 base curriculum, class 5 base study. So here I am going to teach you me, my family and neighborhood. In this topic we have included 3 points: me, that is an individual; my family, your family, I mean your father, mother, grandfather, grandmother, and neighborhoods, those who are living nearby your house. So here in this lesson we talk about their occupation, your neighborhood occupation, your parents' occupation, and our friendly behavior with our neighbors and involvement in community work. Dear students, can you please note down? Point 1 is we are social being. Do you know we are human being and we are social being. We cannot live alone. Can you live alone? No, we cannot live alone. We live in neighborhoods. You know why we live in neighborhoods? Because we cannot live alone. We are not safe. Okay, I will ask you a question. Can you please write down this? Who are your neighbors? Please write down the names of your neighbors. Either write their family name or the name of the family head and their surname. Write the neighbors of your house or write your neighbor's name. What do you think they do? That means, what are the occupations of your neighbors? Please note down this question. I believe you can write these answers very easily. Yes, you can write further. Let me tell you, all who are listening me have different neighbors and they have different occupations. Yes, they have different occupations. Do you know what is occupation? You are right. Yes, it is a work or profession to run family, or we can say it is an employment. Can you write the examples of occupation? Carpenter, who repair furnitures. Farmer, businessman, laborers, clerk, doctor, teachers, policeman, etc. Beside these, you might have other occupational people around your house or in your surrounding. You need to write their occupation. You can go to the house, you can go to your parents and ask them. If you do not get their occupation. And the very prominent and important part is what a family is. I taught you what is neighborhood and what is neighbor, what kind of people are there, what is their occupation. And now I am going to teach you what is a family. It's a very simple, dear students. You can note down the points. Here, family is the most fundamental unit of a society, or a family group or individual who live under a roof and share everything they have. Please note down this again. A family is the most fundamental unit of a society, or a family is a group of individual or person who live under a roof and share everything they have. Do you know, students, many families make a community. Many families, not one family, many families make a community. We cannot live without family and community. Can you live without family and community? Can you imagine that? Yes, of course, we cannot imagine. That means humans cannot live alone. They need each other's help and cannot fulfill their necessities without each other's help. We cannot live alone. We cannot fulfill our necessities. You know, you want to go to school to get education. Do you think without family, without community, without society, can you go to school? No, there will be no school. You cannot join school. You cannot continue school. In this way, I can say that family, community, and society are most important factors. They give us security. We can ward off ourselves from different kind of dangers. So, 2 questions for you. Can you live alone? Can you live without your family and community? The answer is no. Now I have completed what is family, what is neighborhood, what is a community, what is a family. Here, a community is a group of people or families living together in a particular place, adjusting with the same culture, tradition, religion, living condition, costume, and language by sharing their ideas and common feelings is known as community. A community is bigger form of family. It's a bigger form of family. It's a group of family. A community is a group of family, and community is smaller than a society. Community is smaller than a society. In community, we have we feelings. We have we feelings. It is bigger form of a family that I already told you. They develop their culture, religion, costume, language, art, and literature. Every member of the family community should be responsible for the development. Dear students, do you know your parents, your family members, they are engaged when there is any kind of community work. Sometime there could be one example that when the road is going to be constructed in your area, the students along with their parents sometime go and help them for the development process, for other social cultural activities. We take participation so that it shows that social unity, social uniformity, and helping nature. In this way, we all are responsible for the development process. If we are not active, if we are not helping each other, then definitely our society will not develop. Our community will not develop. Our language, culture, religion will not develop. So, we should be participated actively in all the social activities or social works. One example, if there is a festival or a ritual in your neighborhood, your parents, your brother and sisters, or your uncle, they go there and offer their help. Why do they offer their help? Because that is the helping nature that human being has. If we are not helping to each other, definitely we will become alone and nobody will offer help to us. The students, you might have understood what I am saying. Now, I have already explained you what is a family, what is a community. Now, I am going to tell you what is a society. It's a very easy term that we are using this word every time, but we might not be clear about it. The community and society both look similar, but actually they have little differences. A community is a group of families or group of people, but a society is a group of communities. It is an organized community of people who live together by sharing customs, laws, modes of life, etc. and they live within a defined territory. Why they live in defined territory? Because they can claim the land is their own land, and they can further develop their land, they can further develop their areas by their group work, by their unity. In this way, a society is a group of communities which live in a defined territory. And dear students, you know from where the society word is derived from. The term society is derived from a Latin word which means companionship or friendship. Companionship means a friendship. So, different people live in a society. Different occupational people live in a society. I can give you some examples. Can you please write down? I hope it will help you. Cobbler, C-O-B-B-L-E-R, cobbler. Farmers, doctors, teachers, musicians, singers, drivers, nurses, engineers, lawyers, and tailors. They live together in a society. So, we can say that a society is bigger than a community. A society is formed on the different basis. A society is formed on the following basis. Number 1, geography. Number 2, customs and traditions. Number 3, science and technology, development works, etc. We share joy and sorrows in a community. Why we live in a community? Why we live in a society? Because we feel safe, we feel secured, and we can enhance our potentiality in a society. We can develop ourselves, our intellectuals in a society. So, society is foremost or important for human being. One example, not only human beings, but many wild animals, they live in their group. They have their group, they have herd where they can ward off themselves from different kind of brutal animals. So, the scope of society is wide, large, although social feelings, responsibility, security, unity, cooperation, harmony, relation, etc. are the similarities found both in society and community. Society and community are little different in terms and definition, but harmony, relation, security, unity, cooperation, responsibilities, social feelings, that we feelings, these are found in both community and society. They are the fundamental characteristics or necessities to live in peace in a society and a community. Dear students, can we revise the lesson? Can we revise the definition? What do you mean by a family? A family is a group of people living under a same roof and share everything they have. And in a family there are father, mother, brother, sisters, grandfather, grandmother, uncle, etc. What is neighborhood? Dear students, the neighborhood is those who are living nearby your house. There are so many neighbors in your surrounding, and they have different occupations. Occupations means the profession, the employment they carry on to run their family. Dear students, now what do you mean by community? A community is a group of people or families living together in a particular place, adjusting with the same culture, tradition, religion, living condition, costume, and language by sharing their ideas and common feelings. Now students, what is society? The last term of today's class. The term society is derived from a Latin word and which means friendship, companionship, and it is an organized community of people who live together by sharing customs, laws, modes of life within a defined territory. Different occupational people live in a society. When you are sick, doctor visits your house. When you need your shoes be mended, then cobbler will help to mend the shoes. When you want to stitch your clothes, we go to tailoring house. In this way, we can get help from different people in our society. Society is bigger than a community, and a community is bigger than a family. So, dear students, I would like to revise something, and that will help to evaluate ourselves whether we are understanding the lesson or not. Dear students, can you please write down these questions? These questions I am referring to class 6 first. Standard 6. Write question please. Number A. What do you understand by a family? Yes. What do you understand by a family? Number B. Can we define a community? Can you define a community? What is a society? What is a society? Number D. What are the similarities between a society and a community? What are the similarities, sameness between a society and a community? These 4 questions I am advising to class 6 and the students, those who are in class 5. Could you please note down these questions? Write any 5 neighbors' name and their occupation. For class 5, A. Write any 5 neighbors' name and their occupations. Number B question. Question number B. Can you please note down, how can we help our neighbors? How can we help our neighbors? Question number C for class 5. Write down any 10 occupations that you know. Write down any 10 occupations or skill of work, that is employment, that you know. Write down any 10 occupations. Okay, dear students, I hope you enjoyed today's class, and here our class ends for today. Thank you. See you everyone. Bye bye.
भाइ बहिनीहरूलाई फेरि स्वागत छ कार्यक्रम रेडियो स्कुलमा। तपाईहरूले भर्खरै कक्षा 5 र 6 का लागि तयार पारिएको कक्षा सुनिसक्नु भएको छ। कक्षा सुनिसकेपछि तपाईका केही प्रश्न वा जिज्ञासा भएमा रेडियो साथीको फोन नम्बर 023 563 037 मा फोन गरेर प्रश्न टिपाउन सक्नुहुनेछ वा हाम्रो फेसबुक पेजमा समेत प्रश्नहरू पठाउन सक्नुहुनेछ। अर्को कक्षामा भाइ बहिनीहरूको जिज्ञासाको समाधान गर्ने प्रयास गरिनेछ। अबको पालोमा कक्षा 7 र 8 का भाइ बहिनीहरूका लागि तयार पारिएको कक्षाहरू सञ्चालन गर्दै कक्षा 7 र 8 का विद्यार्थी भाइ बहिनीहरू कापी कलम लिएर तयार रहनुहोस् है त।
Hello and namaste everybody. My name is Diliram Bandari. Today we are going to start class of social studies for standard 7 and 8. Dear all, we are at home and we are missing our school, friends and teachers. During this lockdown, we are bored at home. I am trying to bring your school memory back and learn something from our new book. I know you have been promoted to another new class and you are eagerly waiting to see your new class and friends. Dear students, let's come to our today's class. I know you cannot reply here, but you can see and listen this class on Facebook page of Radio Sathi 98.6 MHz and put your problems and inquiries in the comment section, or you can further link your teacher to be more clear on this. I believe you have already sit near the radio taking your copy and a pen. Yes, please come closer. In social studies, we are going to study based on our curriculum or lesson. We start today's unit, Origin and Need of Society and Social Evolution, the another lesson for standard 7. Accordingly, we are listening we, our community and nation from standard 8. In this unit, today we gonna to understand development and our 7 provinces. The students, let's start the class. We gonna to discuss on origin of a society. As all you know, society is a system in which people live together in an organized community, sharing customs, law, modes of life, etc. within a defined territory. So, this figure is at present context, but how did it happen to be so organized? At the beginning, human beings used to live in jungle as other wild animals. It is difficult to live in jungle you know already, but our past was so difficult. People, they lived hunting animals and collecting fruits, but it was not so easy to humans to live in jungle. Dear students, can I ask you a question? Can we live in a jungle without your community? No, we cannot live. Even your family cannot live in a jungle because it is not so safe. And those time people ate raw food, raw flesh of animals because there was no fire and they did not have idea to make fire and cook. It was wild life like other animals had. But human brain develops, so they started learning and slowly realized the need of society, language and other. They had hard life, so further they realized the need of others' help in searching food and warding off the wild animals. That means they can keep themselves safe from other animals. The fearful animal could attack human, so they can ward off if they are living in a community, if they are living in a group. Therefore, they started coming out of forest and settling around the bank of the river. You know, the human civilization developed at the bank of rivers. They faced and found many things in course of difficult time. They found water for drinking and stones for making weapons and tools. They invented fire by rubbing two stones. It happened due course of time. They started to eat the roasted meat and cooking vegetables. The trend of living on the rivers, on the river bank and visiting the jungle for hunting animals and collecting fruits developed in them a sense of living together. They started settling in the bank of rivers and then they stayed there temporarily and started going to forest to get their food. They kill animals, they get fruits, they get roots, and they used to have their food. So this trend established in the society in due course of time. In past days, it was ancient time. Now they felt the living together is good for them, comfortable, and they felt safe. They started living together. When they started helping each other, they started feeling kindness, courtesy, honesty, and cooperation among them, which are very important to feel secure and safe. Dear students, you might have felt that without society, without your family members, we cannot have good life and comfortable life. So, accordingly, in course of time, they started rearing animals. They started taking care of animals. I mean, they started taming animals and cultivating land. They started making houses or permanent settlements. They got or felt security and safety from other animals and enemies. This is important factor of human being. When they felt problems, they started fighting together. They started fighting by uniting in the society. This is the process how the security was maintained, and this is a process how the society developed. Slowly they developed further art and crafts. they started getting education and sharing it. They started sharing their knowledge to their children or the coming generation. So the gathering of information had become so important part to develop human brain. Finally, human civilization developed. Do you know, students, you might have heard some of the civilization of the past. Some examples I would like to tell you here. Some of the civilization we have heard in our previous class are Egyptian civilization, Mesopotamian civilization, Greek civilization, Huanghe Valley civilization, etc. These are very important civilizations, and these civilizations developed in the bank of rivers. Why they started settling near the river banks? Because they can live together, making temporary or permanent houses. They can tame their animals, and they can fetch water. They can bring water very easily from there. Dear students, not only this way human became stronger and wiser enough to control over animals, and even they are controlling people and countries these days. Now you might have understood what are the needs of a society, or why society is formed or developed. Let me tell some of the points why society is developed and what are the needs of a society. Please write down if you have a pen and a copy. These are important points why society is formed, or why society is developed, why people they started living together, why they left forest. Point 1 is, number 1 need of a society is fulfill individual and common needs in a secured way. We can fulfill our common needs in a society. If there is no society, we cannot fulfill our needs. Second point is protect and enrich culture and civilization. It means we can promote our culture, we can develop our culture, and we can develop our civilization. Number 3 point is the need of society to protect tradition and social values and norms. In a society, only we can preserve and or protect traditional and social values. Otherwise, we cannot develop. Dear students, number 4 point is to render the feelings to new generation. And only in a society, in an organized community, we can share our ideas to the coming generation. When the children are born, they should be taught new things and the same old traditions and norms which were practiced by the society. So children, they learn only in an organized community. Number 5, share happiness and sorrows with each other. So only in a society we can share our feelings, we can share our sorrow, problems, and even happiness. When you are happy alone, that does not give much sense. But you are happy along with your community has really meaningful life. Definitely students, when we have problems, we want to share something. If we have happiness, if we have any kind of cultural gathering, we want to share, we want to celebrate together with our people. So in this way, society is important. Another point is to develop the feelings of fellowship, cooperation, and interrelationship. Students, we are interrelated. We need help of other people as well as other people need our help. So we are interrelated, we are interdependent, and here we can develop our friendship, feelings of fellowship, cooperation and interrelationship. We can help each other. So this can be developed in a society. Another point is, students, if you have pen, if you have been writing, please write down this point too. To guarantee social justice for all. If you are living in a community, if we are living in a society, definitely we feel secured. I mean, we all get social justice. We all are treated equally. Otherwise, the society becomes a brutal society. And another point is this is the last point for you, please. To achieve the goals of life, only in a society, only in a community, or only in a gathering, we can achieve our goal, because all human goals are same. We have common goals: to be secure, to be educated, to be civilized, to be protected. These are the goals, okay? And to be equipped with modern technology. These are the goals of human being. So this can be achieved only in a society. Thus, society is very important. Now, students, you might have known already how the society or a community was developed, or what was the origin of a society. Now, I am going to tell you what is social evolution. Dear students, you know evolution? It is a long process of development. You know already, we have come to this science and technology age not directly. We have, or our past generation has struggled or had faced a lot of problems in their life to bring these changes that we have been facilitated now. We are social by nature. The social evolution can be classified into 3 stages. Dear students, you might have known already these things, though please write them again in your copy. Dear students, the society is developed in long course of time. It's not happening in one day. So I am telling you, we have crossed 3 stages of age to reach this stage. One is savagery stage, that is primitive stage. Primitive age, savagery stage, that means a very olden time where there was no fire. This number 1 is savagery stage. People, they resides in caves and rivers at that time. Can you please write down these points too, dear students? The features of savagery stage. Number 1 is the feature forming small groups. They form small groups and they go for hunting animals, and they started living in, they used to stay or live in caves and river banks. They hunt animals, they started fishing, and slowly they learned how to use or make fire. They depended on fruits and roots, subsistence on fruits and roots. Slowly they invented or developed bows and arrows to hunt the animals. These are the features of savagery or primitive age. Now I'm going to tell you the second stage, that is barbarian stage, that is middle age. What happened in the middle age? What the features can be listed in the barbarian stage or middle age? Please write down, students. Permanent residence in the stone and brick houses. They started living in brick and stone houses. Development of, number second point is development of art and pottery. Domestication of animals. They started rearing animals. Cultivation of land by irrigation. They started cultivating lands using water. Use of tools and weapons. They started using advanced means the advanced than savagery stage. They started using tools and weapons. These weapons were made by metals of the time. Now I'm going to tell you last stage of human civilization, social evolution, is civilization stage, modern stage. Dear students, now we are in the age of science and technology. Still, we have to face a lot of problems in underdeveloping countries and undeveloped countries. But we are heading towards the science and technology, and we have already surpassed in invention and making new creation. Medicines, weapons, and many kinds of public facilities can be seen at this stage to facilitate human being. So civilization, modern stage, I would like to tell you some of the features of civilization or modern stage. Invention of alphabets and writing. People, they started writing letters and alphabets. Climax stage of socio-cultural development of language, arts and literature. There was a drastic change in the society. They started writing language, they developed their language, they developed arts and literature. When you read the Greek civilization, Roman civilization, we can see this kind of development. Modernization in agriculture. People, they started farming in advanced way. Language and art and literature was developed. Now there is purity in language. There are fine arts and literature. Now we are gonna learn about development. Can you tell me what is development? We read social evolution, origin of a society. Now I am going to tell you what is development. Yes, students, it's very easy and common for you all that development is the constant positive change occurring in our society. In other way, I can say development is a dynamic process which brings about positive change in a society through improvement of everyone's life. Once again, development is a dynamic process which brings about positive change in a society through improvement of everyone's life. Wow, it's a very easy example, it's a very easy definition. Good example of development is human society that I already told you how the society changed from savagery society to modern age, science and technology. See, there is a long gap to convert one stage society to another stage. This is also good example of society. And what is your development? This is directly linked with your society. Now, human society, it has completed several stages to come this present stage. You know, Stone Age, Animal Rearing Age, then Agriculture Age, Industrial Age, Science and Technology Age. These are the changes. To develop, we have realized we need many things. Societies need to utilize means and resources. What means and resources are there in a country? That will determine how a society can be developed. If we are utilizing those resources in proper way, definitely a country will become a developed country. We need natural resources. Please write down. The main important things to develop a country are natural resources. Example, this water, solar energy, land, mountain, hill, minerals, etc. Number second, economic resources. We need capital, money, financial management, etc. Those things are very important. Number third is human resources. That means you know already, human resource means we, like teachers, doctors, laborers, staff nurse, media workers, etc. And in human resources, we have three kind of resources. They are unskilled human resource, semi-skilled human resource, and skilled human resource, or we can say manpower. For development, we need the following important characters. Number one, far-sighted, dedicated, committed leaders. Far-sighted, dedicated, committed leaders. If this is lacking in a country, definitely a country will not develop properly. Number second, honest, laborious and creative people. Only not the leaders, but people, they also play very important role to develop our country. Number third is stable government and political stability. The students, stable government is very important. There was fluctuation. There was unstable government in our country for a long time. Because of that, we faced a lot of problem in development process. Even armed revolution, the Mars revolution, that hindered our country to develop. The roads were destroyed, bridges were destroyed, and the political lead the country became lamb. In this way, here we are talking about our country is development and 7 provinces. Now, dear students, I am going to conclude this lesson today. So now in short, I am going to explain you about the provincial and federal system. In present context of Nepal, it is a developing country, you know already. Nepal has adopted Federal Democratic Republican system. Here, federal means, you know what is federal? It is a system, political system, I mean. It's a political system in which a country is divided into different states or provinces with autonomous power. Now, every province has separate provincial government in our country. We have 7 provinces, you are aware of that, and they have different government. We have one central government and we have other local governments. The division of power between the federal, central and state province is determined according to the clauses mentioned in the constitution. There are 7 provinces in our country. They are Province 1, it has not been named yet. Province 2, Province 1 capital is Biratnagar. Province 2 is Janakpur. Province 3 is Hataura. Province 4 is Gandaki and the capital is Pokhara. Province 5 capital is Butwal, and Karnali Pradesh, sorry, the 6th province, Birendranagar, the largest city of that area also, and Sudar Paschim Pradesh, the capital is Godavari. So students, today I couldn't explain you more about provinces. Anyway, I would like to conclude today's class here. I hope you understood and enjoyed the class. Thank you. Bye bye. See you.
भाइ बहिनीहरू, तपाईहरु अहिले कार्यक्रम रेडियो स्कुल सुन्दै हुनुहुन्छ। कक्षा सुनिसकेपछि तपाईका केही प्रश्न वा जिज्ञासा भएमा रेडियो साथीको फोन नम्बर 023-563-037 मा फोन गरेर प्रश्न टिपाउन सक्नुहुनेछ वा हाम्रो फेसबुक पेजमा समेत प्रश्नहरू पठाउन सक्नुहुनेछ। अर्को कक्षामा भाइ बहिनीहरूको जिज्ञासाको समाधान गर्ने प्रयास गरिनेछ। अब आजको अन्तिम कक्षामा कक्षा 9 र 10 का विद्यार्थी भाइ बहिनीहरूका लागि कक्षा सञ्चालन हुँदैछ। कक्षा 9 र 10 का विद्यार्थी भाइ बहिनीहरू कापी कलम लिएर तयार रहनुहोस् है त।
Good morning, dear students. Today I am going to teach you social studies, especially for class 9, 10 and SLC appearing students. I hope you will take advantage of this Radio Sathi teaching learning. Today I have taken the subject matter of federal legislature. Remember, federal legislature. There are three main organs of the state. Among them, legislature is the most important organ, one of the most important organs of the state, which makes the law. Without law, you imagine the country can run? No, the country cannot run properly without law. That necessary law, required law is formulated or made by the legislature. So that is very, very important organ of the state. My dear student, according to Constitution of Nepal 2072, there is the provision of bicameral legislature of Nepal, bicameral federal legislature of Nepal. They are House of Representatives, also called lower house, and National Assembly, also called upper house. Remember, there are two houses of our federal legislature. One, House of Representatives, also called lower house. Another, National Assembly, also called upper house. Then, my dear student, House of Representatives is formed of 275 members. Out of 275 members, 165 members are elected by the first post the past electoral system. First past the post election system, you know, that is, suppose 5 runners are running. First one will be the winner. Second, third, fourth, fifth will not be counted there. Like that, first past the post election means जो पहिलो हुन्छ उसले चुनाव जित्छ। त्यो खालको सिस्टमलाई हामी फर्स्ट पास्ट द पोस्ट इलेक्टोरल सिस्टम भन्छौं। And 165 members are elected by this first past the post election system. Similarly, 110 members are elected by the proportional electoral system. Proportional election system, you know, that is, especially in this condition, women, Dalit, indigenous people, Khas Arya people, Tharu people, Madesi people, Muslim people, and other people from background regions are collected there. They represent in this proportional system. My dear student, you remember 275 members. 275 members are the major part of this, House of Representatives. Now I am going to teach you about the National Assembly. National Assembly is also called upper house. In this National Assembly,
according to Constitution 2072, there are 59 members. 59 members. Out of 59 members, 56 members are elected by different provinces. Different means 7 provinces. One province consists 8 members. Multiplied by 7 provinces becomes 56 members. And 3 members are nominated by the president. So the total number becomes 59 in National Assembly. That is also very important. Our house, upper house, also call it, I told you, my dear student. Yes, another important thing I am going to tell you about lower house or House of Representatives. Yes, the speaker who runs the meeting of House of Representatives of Federal Legislature is Agni Prasad Sapkota, is Mr. Agni Prasad Sapkota now. He is the Speaker of Nepal of Federal Legislature. My dear student, yes, in National Assembly there is no speaker. Instead of speaker, there is a provision of the chairperson. And the present chairperson of National Assembly is Mr. Ganesh Prasad Timsina. Agni Prasad Sapkota is the Speaker of House of Representatives, and Mr. Ganesh Prasad Timsina is the chairperson of National Assembly. You know, so Ganesh Prasad Timsina, Mr. Ganesh Prasad Timsina runs the meeting of National Assembly. My dear student, now I am describing the required minimum qualification to be a member of the House of Representatives. First of all, someone, he or she, who wants to be the member of the House of Representatives must have a Nepali citizenship. Second number, he or she should be above 25 years age. Minimum 25 years age. Number 3, he or she should not involve in any kind of civil services or should have resigned from the same. Number 4, he or she should not be disqualified by the federal law. Number 5, he or she has to be committed to the spirit of the People's Movement 2062-63. My dear student, there are 5 different qualifications I told you. I described you. I want to repeat it. Could you listen? Of course, you are ready. He or she should be a Nepali citizen. He or she should be above 25 years of age. Number 3, he or she should not involve in any kind of civil services or should have resigned from the same. Number 4, he or she should not be disqualified by the federal law. Number 5, he or she has to be committed to the spirit of the People's Movement 2062-63. My dear student, sometimes the question can be asked, qualifications of the House of Representatives to have these qualifications. Now, I am going to describe about the functions of Federal Legislature. This is the long question. Sometimes you have to write the answers, long answer questions. Functions of Federal Legislature. My SLC appearing dear students, I hope you will be listening to the lessons today. Yeah, law-making function. That means the first function is law-making function. Law-making function means It formulates the laws according to the will and aspiration of the people. It means what? It means federal legislature makes the law, formulates the law according to the will and aspirations of the people. How is the law made, student? First of all, a bill is introduced. A bill is introduced, discussed, played, P-L-E-D, played by and played and assented. Assented means approved by the president, and that becomes the law. Again, the federal legislature formulates the laws according to will and aspiration of the people. How is the law made? Listen. A bill is introduced, discussed, played, and assented. Assented means, approved by the president, and that becomes the law. This is the first function of our federal legislature. You remember? Law making function. You just key point, law making function. That means it makes the law. You remember just. Other thing you can elaborate, explain yourselves. The second function of our federal legislature is administrative function. Administrative function. You know administration? I hope you know. Administration. Because in your school also there is principal. Principal is our administrative person. So he does administration to all teaching staffs and students as well. Now that I'm going to describe about administrative function which our federal legislature does. Student, the Prime Minister is appointed from the members of House of Representatives, and the Council of Ministers is formed under the Prime Minister. You remember who is the present Prime Minister of Nepal? You remember? You know, you say Mr. K.P. Sharma Oli or Mr. Khadga Prasad Sharma Oli, who is the Prime Minister of Nepal today. Now, yes, he was appointed from the members of House of Representatives 2.5 years ago. Now he is still our Prime Minister. And when the Prime Minister is appointed on the basis of majority of the House of by the members of the House of Representatives, and the Prime Minister forms Council of Ministers. You know what is Council of Ministers? I want to tell you something about it. Council of Ministers means like Defense Minister, Education Minister, Forest Minister, Foreign Minister, Agriculture Minister, like all ministers together collectively we call Council of Ministers. You know? You are a student, so you know who is the Education Minister now? You know, Mr. Giriraj Mani Pokhrel is our Education Minister. He is also one of the members of Council of Ministers. So that Prime Minister appoints all these ministers. My dear student, if the Prime Minister cannot work properly, cannot lead the country properly, cannot fulfill all the desires of the people, cannot maintain security in the country, peace in the country, then 1/4 of the total number of the current members of House of Representatives. 1/4 means if 100 number is there, then 25 members. 1/4, 25% you say. You can say 25% also here. 25% of the total member of the current House of Representatives may launch a motion of no confidence. A motion of no confidence means vote of no confidence also. That means they claim they don't believe over Prime Minister. They want to change the Prime Minister. So they have their right. They have this right, my dear student. So if the Prime Minister cannot face this motion, if the Prime Minister cannot show his majority, then he loses his majority, then he or she will be dismissed from his post or from his premiership. He will lose his post. In this way, House of Representatives has this big, administrative function that can make the Prime Minister also, remove the Prime Minister also. Similarly, my dear student, according to the present Constitution 2072, House of Representatives, cannot launch this vote of no confidence or motion of confidence without being 2 years of the government formation. सरकार भएको, प्राइम मिनिस्टर नियुक्ति भएको 2 वर्ष नपुगिकन चाहिँ यो अविश्वासको प्रस्ताव राख्न पाइने छैन। अहिलेको संविधानले यसो भनेको छ। यसै थोरै भए पनि सरकार स्थिर होस् भन्ने यो संविधानको आशय बुझिन्छ भाइ बहन हो। After 2 years, that process can be done by federal legislature under the administrative function. Now, my dear student, I am going to explain about the third function of our federal legislature, that is financial function. Financial, FINANCIAL, financial function. That means that belongs to the economy or economic condition, my dear student, or budget. Now listen, the most important, the most crucial function of federal legislature is to pass the annual budget. Annual budget, my dear student, this is the most crucial function, the most important function. Our federal legislature passes the annual budget every year. My dear student, you know, no money from national treasury, no money, कुनै पनि पैसा from national treasury, राष्ट्रिय कोषबाट, राष्ट्रिय कोष भन्छौं हामी, national treasury, no money from national treasury can be spent without permission of federal legislature. Without permission of federal legislature, my dear student, that means government should take permission to spend the money of national treasury from the federal legislature. My dear student, one of the most important thing you have to know nowadays in this present constitution, just 15 in every year, in just 15, Nepal government has to table the budget, and it is compulsion. It is compulsion for Nepal government to pass the budget within 15th of Jest every year. Otherwise, in our history, we have seen our budget did not used to be passed month and month till Bhadra also sometimes. So these are the problems. So just 15 is the deadline of passing annual budget according to Constitution 2072. So government cannot do any delaying, that has to pass the budget by hook or crook, you say. Therefore, legislature is also called the guardians of the national treasury. Guardians of the national treasury, my dear. You understand? How can you say this is the guardians of the national treasury? It is because it controls government's budget also. and it has given guideline to pass the budget within 15 days. My dear student, I'm going to teach you, I'm going to explain the last point, last function of our federal legislature, that is constitution amending function. Constitution amending, A-M-E-N-D-I-N-G, A-M-E-N-D-I-N-G, amending means changing like in Nepali संशोधन, संविधानको संशोधन गर्ने काम पनि गर्छ यसले. Listen, Nepal government is going to amend our constitution very soon. Why? Map of Nepal, it just changed. Lipuadura, Kalapani, Lipu Lake. That is the debate issue now. And yes, Nepal government is going to change the constitution now, amend the constitution now. You can watch television also for the purpose. My dear student, constitution amending function, I am going to describe it. Constitution is a changeable document. It is a changeable document, student. Constitution is changed time and again according to need and necessity of the nation. So, if at least 2/3 majority of the total number of the members of the both houses of federal parliament, like House of Representatives and National Assembly, passes the introduced bill, they pass the introduced bill, because House of Representatives and upper house or National Assembly both has to make is 2/3 majority to pass the bill. Bill is presented, bill is introduced by the government, that is to be passed by 2/3 majority of the both houses. This is the system of amending the Constitution of Nepal according to Constitution 2072. My dear student, this can be baked to you. 2/3 majority means how many numbers? 275 ko 2/3. You can yourself have your mathematical mind. Similarly, 59 upper house, and that is 2/3 majority. Just you can calculate yourself mathematically, arithmetically especially, and you can come to the conclusion, my dear student. So, when this bill is passed by the majority, then the president assents, A-S-S-E-N-T-S, assents, A-S-S-E-N-T-S, assents or approves the bill, and it gets amended, and it gets amended, A-M-E-N-D-E-D, amended, my dear student. But this amendment should be for the nation, and that should not be against the sovereignty, territorial integrity, independence of the country. That amendment should be for the nation's welfare. That should not be against the sovereignty, territorial integrity, independence of Nepal. My dear student, so I want to summarize what I taught you today. First of all, I have taught you today about the federal legislature. There are 3 major organs of the state. Among them, legislature is the most important organs of the nation, I told you. Why it is important? Because it makes the law. It makes the law. There are 2 houses, I told you. House of Representatives and National Assembly. Student, and House of Representatives is made of 275 members. Out of 275 members, 165 members are elected by the first past the post election. So, in this way, student, there are 59 members in National Assembly, I told you. 56 from different provinces and 3 by the President. In this way, I told you qualification of members of House of Representatives, and I told you the 4 functions of federal legislatures. My dear student, so I am going to in the lesson of today. If you have some curiosity, if you have some question, you can ask me. Our radio Sathi will provide you our phone number also, and you can fulfill your academic desires. Thank you so much.
भाइ बहिनीहरू, आजका लागि सबै कक्षाहरू सम्पन्न भइसकेका छन्। कक्षा सुनिसकेपछि तपाईका केही प्रश्न वा जिज्ञासा भएमा रेडियो साथीको फोन नम्बर 023-563-037 मा फोन गरेर प्रश्न टिपाउन सक्नुहुनेछ वा हाम्रो फेसबुक पेजमा समेत प्रश्नहरू पठाउन सक्नुहुनेछ। अर्को कक्षामा भाइ बहिनीहरूको जिज्ञासाको समाधान गर्ने प्रयास गरिनेछ। भाइ बहिनीहरू, आजलाई कार्यक्रम रेडियो स्कुल यति नै। तपाईहरू यी सबै कक्षाहरूको अडियो हाम्रो फेसबुक टाइमलाइनमा गएर दोहोर्याई सुनेर थप प्रश्न हुन सक्नुहुनेछ। भोलिको कक्षामा पुनः हाम्रो भेट हुनेछ। लकडाउनका बेला घरमै बसी कार्यक्रम सुनेर अभ्यास गर्दै पढ्दै गर्नुहोला है त। तबसम्मका लागि सबै विषय शिक्षकहरूको साथमा